Tonight on CTV News, we discuss CSU's plan to put all gendered restrooms into every building on campus, despite recent actions by President Donald Trump.
Plus, we talk about the success of the CSU men's and women's basketball teams, weather, entertainment, and more starting on CTV now. Good evening and thanks for tuning into CTV tonight. I'm Emily Biffinger.
And I'm Grace Reeder. CSU is looking to expand the number of gender-inclusive bathrooms on campus thanks to a local law. President Donald Trump recently put into place an executive order which would pull funding and support for transgender students. But Colorado is one of 17 states with local laws that are designed to protect transgender people in school and public places. In an interview with the Collegian, Eric Guerrero, director of the Pride Resource Center at CSU, said that the center is trying to get a policy passed that would require every new building on campus to have one gender-inclusive restroom and would also add gender-inclusive bathrooms to existing buildings. To see the current locations of gender-inclusive bathrooms, you can visit the Pride Resource Center's website, pridesourcecenter.colostate.edu. TEDx will be on campus Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the Laurie Student Center. This year, TEDx will feature 9 speakers, including Jalen Coates, graduate student in the Student Affairs and Higher Education program at CSU, Ann Cleary, cognitive psychologist and professor in the Department of Psychology, and Corey Wong, special assistant to the president and director of the Women Gender Collaborative. The mission of this event is to spread initiative and bold ideas. Tickets are sold out according to their Facebook page. After an investigation into the practices of a Larimer County jail deputy, one woman has resigned from her duties. Bryn Carmen was at the Larimer County Jail earlier today.
Earlier this week, a Larimer County Sheriff's Office employee resigned after investigation following her work practices. The probe into 37-year-old Bethany Williamson started January 25th when 2 inmates from different housing areas were found in the same room together, which is against policy, according to the Sheriff's Office. This initial investigation led to a second, which revealed that Williamson had misused a government website to look up confidential information about a case. Williamson resigned Monday before the investigation was complete, and no further details have been released into the ongoing probe. In an interview with the Coloradoan, Sheriff Justin Smith said if a deputy violated internal policies, or certainly the law, they will be held accountable. We will have more updates in this investigation as information becomes available. Back to Grace and Emily in the studio.
Thanks, Bryn. College is a stressful time for students and a busy time, which means less time at the gym. This week, CSU is celebrating Every Body for Body Acceptance Week. The event is meant to help students focus on positive body image and loving themselves. To celebrate this week, CSU hosted events aimed at helping break body stigmas, hosted sessions at the rec center, and handed out t-shirts on the plaza. When we get back, we have an interview with members of the Volunteer Fight Club here in Fort Collins.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back from the break. I am now joined by Kristen Draves, sorry about that.
Got it.
And Jessica Hazlett from the Volunteer Fight Club. Thank you ladies so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, definitely. I just was curious, what is the Volunteer Fight Club?
Volunteer Fight Club is kind of a volunteer matchmaking service within northern Colorado, specifically Fort Collins for now, and we're hoping to expand that as we get bigger.
Right. So the point of Volunteer Fight Club, we're a matchmaking service, so we take groups of people that want to volunteer together, and then we find a good nonprofit for them to work with. So if you've got 20 people that want to volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, we find those 20 people, we get them to Habitat for Humanity.
Perfect. And Jessica, you said you actually started this. How old is it now?
This started in November, so we're pretty new still.
Yeah, and about how much traffic do you think you guys have seen so far?
We've had quite a bit of support. We've got at least several hundred followers. We've got a website up. We've got 200 plus volunteers signed up for our Women's Day of Service.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
And
it's growing.
And to touch on the Women's Day of Service, when is that, and what kind of is that about? Like a brief summary of that.
So Women's Day of Service is going to be on March 25th. We've already actually closed registration for it because we actually got closer to 300 volunteers. So we closed registration on Tuesday. And we're basically just getting people out to all the nonprofits in Fort Collins and having a day of community service in Fort Collins.
Perfect. And then what are some of those tasks that volunteers will be assigned to do?
So we've got Habitat for Humanity that we're working with, American Red Cross, Homeless Gear. Basically, we're working with the city of Fort Collins as well. So any volunteer opportunity in Fort Collins, we have found people to match with that. And actually, we are looking for more organizations because we have 300 volunteers that are ready to get out there on that day. So if anybody wants to be an organizer that day, if there are any nonprofits that want to actually have volunteers show up that day, we're more than happy to send them to you.
That's amazing. And then how are people able to sign up? What's the easiest way for you guys?
So like I said, sign up is over now.
For volunteers.
For volunteers, if organizers want to sign up, they can actually go to womensdayofservice.com. And then that evening at High Point on College, we're going to be having an event for kind of a wrap event, but it's going to be a fundraiser. High Point is going to donate 10% of all sales from 6 to 8 p.m. to a charity that we're going to actually choose that night. So that would be pretty much the one way to get involved at this point.
And then another thing, especially for college students, why do you think this is so important? And about how many of the volunteers that you guys have so far, about 300 you said, how many of them are in that college range?
So we probably have 100 sorority members from different sororities that have volunteered. They're making up, I mean, we sent that out to quite a few of the sororities. If we missed anybody, shoot us an email at info@volunteerfightclub.com. We'll see what we can do.
That's right.
But the sororities were really quick to jump on it. It is a Women's Day of Service, so our main demographic is women, but actually everyone's welcome to come and volunteer.
I would say the reason it's so important, especially in a college level, is it's the easiest way and best way to affect your community directly.
Yeah, and nonprofits are starving for volunteers right now. I mean, always they're starving for volunteers. So get out there, volunteer, make a difference.
Awesome, that's amazing. And then do you guys have any other events planned or just looking forward this year? Anything new?
So we kind of talked about doing a monthly volunteer opportunity, but I think at this point, given the overwhelming response to the Women's Day of Service, we're probably going to do a Fall Day of Service as well. Yeah.
Also, we'll probably do something with the March on Science.
Yeah.
Try to get that together, and that's on Earth Day.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll tackle this event and we'll go on to the next one.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you ladies both so much for being and joining me on here.
Thank you.
Up next, don't go anywhere. The Weather Center with Elizabeth Prasse will let us know what your weekend will look like.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Good evening, weather anchor Elizabeth Prasse here in the Weather Center. It is a beautiful night in Fort Collins. Looking at our live cam, we can see that the sun is set, but it is a gorgeous evening. Now, it is the second day of spring in the meteorological world, so I decided let's take a little flashback and look at the month of February. As you can see, we saw 22 of the 28 days were spent above the average of 41 degrees. Our warmest day, 73 degrees, February 10th, and that actually set a record high. Now, looking on the cold side, we were above zero for the entire month of February. The coldest was 7 degrees, so overall a very warm month. Now, here in Fort Collins, it is a warm, nice 34 degrees, so that southern breeze is keeping us above freezing tonight. As we saw with the live cam, clear skies. Great evening to go out and about, maybe head out to Old Town tonight. Across the state of Colorado, we're staying below freezing. 24 degrees for your overnight low here in Fort Collins. 20s as we head down the I-25 corridor. Even out on the eastern plains, we're looking at 20s as well. For your Friday, it will be a gorgeous start to the weekend after that snow that we saw on Tuesday. The ridge is built up, so it's going to be a pleasant and mild day for you. Few clouds, 30 degrees as we begin our Friday morning. By lunchtime, warming up into those upper 50s. As you notice, we're going to hit 60 degrees for our high tomorrow. But the wind will keep us breezy tomorrow afternoon. So if you want to go out to Horsetooth, start your weekend with a hike, it'd be a great chance, warm and sunny for your Friday. Across the entire state of Colorado, we can see it's beginning to feel like spring. 60 degrees for high, warmer as we head down the I-25 corridor, 66 degrees in Pueblo. But look at Lamar, 68 degrees. I know, it's only the beginning of March. Vail, you're looking at 38, a little bit cooler in Gunnison, 37, 56 degrees in Grand Junction. Now, what ski resort won ski resort of the week this week? That goes to Monarch, Colorado. Monarch has 102 inches base right now, 6 inches of fresh powder for you. We've got packed powder conditions and 64 runs open. And Monarch, going to be a beautiful weekend to hit the slopes. These guys look like they're ready to go down. 31 degrees on Saturday, breezy conditions, but Sunday, that will be the day to watch out for that wind, 25 to 35 miles per hour though. Overall, a great weekend to go hit the slopes in Monarch. But don't go anywhere. Sports with Alex is coming up right after this.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know. Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Hello, hello, Rams. I'm sports anchor Alexandria Clough, bringing you all the latest in the world of Ram sports. The Colorado State men's basketball team did it again. The Rams beat the Wyoming Cowboys 78-76 on Tuesday night in the second border war meeting of the season. This was another great game that came down to the last few seconds. Sophomore guard Prentice Nixon had a great game. In the first half alone, he had 18 points, and by the end of the game, he had a total of 23 points. The Rams went into halftime leading with a score of 48-41. They continued to lead for the majority of the half until Wyoming's Justin James hit a three-point shot with just 17 seconds remaining. This three-pointer left the Rams trailing by 2 points. Senior guard Gene Clavel was on the bench at this time after fouling out. Nixon was put in the game for Clavel and was able to make a three-point shot with just 3.6 seconds left on the clock, which brought the Rams to a victory. Senior forward Emmanuel Mogbo also had his 18th double-double of the season last night. He is currently tied for 7th place in the NCAA. He had a fantastic performance with 13 points and 12 rebounds. Clavel also brought in 17 points and Caravaggio had 10 points. The leading scorer on Wyoming's side was sophomore guard Justin James with 24 points. The CSU students and fans rushed onto the court for the second time in a row after the win. Maybe this is a new tradition for every time CSU wins a game. Looking ahead, the Rams will wrap up the season against Nevada on Saturday at 6 at night. This will be a huge game as both teams are looking to win the Mountain West title and get the #1 seed for the Mountain West tournament in Las Vegas. The CSU women's basketball team did not have as successful of a night as the men's team did against Wyoming. The Rams fell 56-49 in the second border war matchup of the season. It was a very slow start for the Rams as they were 19-0 in the first quarter, and they weren't able to score again until the four-minute mark in the second quarter. By halftime, the score is 30-16. The Rams came back a little bit in the third quarter and cut down the score deficit. Ellen Gustafson was the leading scorer with 14 points. The Rams finish up their season this Friday here at Moby Arena against the Nevada Wolfpack at 7 at night. This game is senior night and will feature the accomplishments of Ellen Gustafson and Ellen Nystrom. Last weekend, the CSU men's and women's track and field team swept the Mountain West Indoor Track and Field Championships in New Mexico. This was the first time in CSU's history that both the men's and women's sides have won the championship title. The men's team is currently ranked 12th nationally this week by the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association. The track and field teams have a little bit of rest time to enjoy the championship title they just earned before the outdoor season starts on the 17th at the Jerry Quiller Classic in Boulder. The Colorado State football team is getting close to completing the 2018 season schedule. It was just announced last week that the Rams will face Illinois State on September 22nd, 2018. But for now, we can look forward to the 2017 season. The full schedule was just released today, and the home games and some of the non-conference games will be played in the sunny Lubick Field. The season is set to kick off on September 1st against Colorado in Denver. The CSU softball team kicked off their home opener on Tuesday against UNC. Well, sort of. As you can see, it was not the best weather conditions to play in. The game only made it to one inning before a 20-minute weather delay was called. After the 20-minute delay, it was then decided by game officials that the game would be postponed and made up on a later date. The Rams continue on with the Colorado Classic this weekend here in Fort Collins. Those are all the updates I have for you right now, but to stay up to date with the basketball games this weekend, follow my Twitter and go on to collegian.com and click on the sports tab. After the break, Delaney has all of the latest entertainment news.
Tune in to KCSU, your student-run radio station at Colorado State University. Live 24 hours a day, every day at 90.5 FM and kcsufm.com. Live local new music now, and news, talk, and sports. KCSU, the radio voice of Colorado State, on the air since 1964.
You're watching CTV, produced by Colorado State University students, bringing you news, weather, sports, and entertainment from campus and beyond. CTV live Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. on campus and Fort Collins on Channel 11. Repeats at midnight, 8 a.m., noon, and 2 p.m.
The Rocky Mountain Collegian is your student-run news and information platform. Pick up your paper on campus or around Fort Collins Monday through Thursday with special editions Fridays. And check out collegian.com anytime for all the latest updates. News, sports, entertainment, opinion, and more. The Rocky Mountain Collegian, serving Colorado State since 1891.
College Avenue has been your student magazine for the last 10 years. College Avenue prints once a month covering topics that are relevant to the CSU and Fort Collins community. We also print special editions like the graduation guides at the end of each semester, the best of CSU each fall, and the orientation guide each summer. Look for us on racks around campus, off campus, or online at collegian.com under the College Avenue tab.
Welcome to the best part of your week. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Delaney Herring. It's that time of the month again, the time for the monthly Fort Collins Gallery Walk, a self-guided tour for participating galleries in Old Town. Friday, local galleries including the Downtown Artery, the Center for Fine Arts Photography, Illustrated Art Gallery, and several more will be open for this event from 6 to 9 p.m. There really is something for everyone, so head on down there and start at whichever gallery your little heart desires. Seriously, go. It'll be so cool. It's National Peanut Butter Day, folks, and you know what that means. Peanut butter everything. So news anchor Emily Biffinger and I decided the best way to celebrate this wondrous holiday was to show you all how to make peanut butter cookies. You are welcome. To start, you'll need salt, eggs, butter-flavored Crisco, baking soda, vanilla, flour, milk, and brown sugar. Next, you'll preheat your oven to 375 degrees and grab yourself a large mixing bowl. We started by taking half a cup of butter-flavored Crisco and mixing it with 1 egg. Next, we added 3 teaspoons of milk and 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar. After that, we threw in 3/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of vanilla with a little extra splash. Close to finish, we added 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 3/4 cup of flour. Lastly, 3/4 cup of good old peanut butter. Once all your ingredients are mixed, throw your dough onto a cookie sheet. Just kidding, nicely spread out small pieces onto a cookie sheet and bake them for 7 to 8 minutes. And voila, peanut butter cookies. Okay, not gonna lie, we did not do a great job baking those cookies. Let's just say I truly haven't eaten more than one of them. Snapchat is SMO, people, Stock Mark Official. I know if I wasn't a broke college student or if I had any idea how to buy stock, I would certainly buy some Snapchat stock. To celebrate this fabulous day, we are going to show you some of the best and most attractive Snapchats from our fabulous staff here at CTV. There's Willis, looking scary. Alex with a burrito on her mind. Oh, and there's our executive producer, Bailey Lakey. And that's, I don't know who that is. Our news anchor, Emily Biffinger, looking good. Elizabeth Prasse. And Grace, of course we have Grace. We clearly always look very put together all the time. We always look very good. That's all the fabulous groundbreaking entertainment I have for you tonight, but don't forget to tune in on Monday for CTV Sports. Olivia Landis and Carly Schwarzkopf will bring you the latest in CSU sports. Have a good night, Rams.